Hello everybody, my name's Connor. I'm going to be showing you guys around the GSSC today. The first thing that you guys see when you walk in these doors to your right is going to be our presentation room. It's a little dark right now because the lights are off. But in here, since it is called the presentation room, a lot of guest speakers come here and do presentations, obviously. But we also have a few tutors that sit in here as well and do their tutoring hours, and then also a few clubs and organizations can meet in there. So if you are ever wanting to be in a club or organization, they're most likely going to be in here. And then to your left over here, we have our Veterans Lounge, which is just a fancy lounge for anybody to sit in, not just our veterans. And also sometimes they even have a licensed therapist sitting in there. And then behind it is our computer lab. In the computer lab, we have all computers free for students to use, and you get 250 free prints a semester as well. So you should never run out, but if you do, Media Services is back there where you can get those refilled. And then we also have the scanner right here as well. So any of the books, resources, journals, government documents, anything like that that we have in the building, you can come scan here for free and send it to yourself as a USB, or send it to yourself on a USB or as an email. And if you guys follow me this way, we have two other areas back here for tutors to sit as well. Sometimes they sit back there. Other than that, it is just a regular seating area for students. And then back here behind the Hound hub is where a bulk of them end up sitting. Again though, we do have a few seating areas in the back with TVs for students to use, and anybody can sit there, not just tutors. Right here is the Hound hub. This is where me and the other Greyhound guides sit, and this is where tutors can clock in. People with mandatory study hours can come and check in, make sure that they're getting their hours for the week if they need to. And you can also check out stuff like remotes, HDMI cords, whiteboard markers, anything that you need in the building is going to be right here. And of course, if you have any general questions about the facility, you can come ask us. We should know the answer. If we don't, we can get you to somebody who does. Right next to us is the reference librarian's desk. If you are ever needing questions about research, need help finding a book, they can help find anything that you need either on our website, in the building physically, or they can get it shipped here from another library in the nation as well. So if you ever have research questions, the reference librarian's desk is the place to go. And then behind me is our little kiosk. This thing is pretty cool actually. If you ever forget anything and you're in here and you need just general information about the building, this thing will tell you everything you need to know. We have all of our tutors. Of course, we only have two because it is the summer that we're recording this, so there's a lot more during the fall and spring, but it can, right here, you can scroll through the different subjects that we have and find specific tutors for that subject. So that way you can always figure out when a tutor is working, and does the same thing for success stories and events as well. And then over here on our social media wall is just a way for you to get updates, news, anything that you would need about the campus is gonna pop up right here. On this side though, is probably the most useful and probably most used, is the directory for the campus and GSSC. So if you ever need to figure out where something is in the building or on campus in general, you can come over here and click them, and they are interactive as well. So it'll show you how to get to and from. My favorite place is the study rooms. So if you click it, it'll show you how to get up there with cute little paw prints too. And it shows you the elevator and the stairs. So there's the study rooms. And we'll go up there later so I can show you guys. On this side though, it may look like it's just one huge TV, but we actually have a PS4 right behind this locked door right here that students are free to use. You just go over to the Hound Hub, like I said earlier, and check out the remotes, and we'll talk to Christy and you can get the PS4 set up and play games. And we even have some games back there too. But the main thing that I want to show over here is Einstein's Bagels. It is a little closed down right now because of the summer, but in the fall we are reopening full force. I'm very excited for it. You can use Flexbucks here or regular cash card, anything that you would want. And they do obviously bagels. It's called Einstein's Bagels, but they also do coffee, sandwiches, burritos, which is one of my favorites, And then they do a whole bunch of other quick meals too. If you need to get to and from class really easily, they've got the quick meals for you. And then circulation desk right behind us over here. This is where you can check in and out any of the books from the general collections behind me, feature films over here, as well as the audiobooks. So all of that is checked out right here at the circulation desk, and they can also help you find any of the resources in the building as well. If you guys follow me, I'll start showing you some of the other cool stuff. I mentioned earlier, back by the computer lab is media services. You can refill paper, like I said, but you can also do quite a few other things as well. You can rent tablets in the building. We have lockers upstairs that I'll show you guys later. The lockers upstairs, you can get the key in there and rent it up for a semester. You can also buy Scantrons in there, as well as laminate, make paper cutouts for presentations, all that cool stuff. If you guys want to follow me. Those aren't my heels, by the way. Right here to my right are just a few of our offices. If you're ever needing help finding a tutor, you want to sign up to be a tutor, anything of the sort with being a supplementary instructor is going to be over here. You can talk to Betsy, you can talk to one of the lead tutors in this office, or Dolores. They'll be more than happy to help you. The door to media services is that door right there, and then we also have our printer and copier right against this wall as well. And our general collection, as you can see, is pretty vast, so if you're ever needing help, please talk to a librarian. They know where everything is in there. And if they don't, then the circulation desk workers definitely do. And then to my left over here is our librarian's offices. This is where the director of the building is. And then on the other side of the bathrooms is where the rest of the reference librarian's offices are. So if there's nobody sitting at the reference librarian's desk, you can come and find them in here. They're usually confined in their desks. This room right in front of me is the Runnels Gallery, and it is available for all Eastern professors, students, and alumni to use. And they can have any kind of artwork shown in here. Right now we have a graphic design artist work shown in there, but we also do painting, drawing, sculpting, jewelry making, all kinds of art that is offered here at Eastern can be shown in here, and it's also free for students to use. If you are ever having questions or want to know more about it though, they have a little thing right here that kind of explains what's going on in there, so you can get a little bit of background. Are you guys okay with stairs? Perfect. I feel like I'm doing the Vogue interview.
Not gonna edit out my giggles.
Up here we have a lot of our student studying and success areas. To my right is our distance learning office. So if you are ever having any questions about Canvas, which is our online classes, you can come in here and they can help you fix any of that. But they also do dual credit classes for any of the high school students, and they also have some non-credit courses that they offer in there as well. But over here are the Mary and Cecil Clodfelter Smart Classrooms. If you ever have a presentation, a class meet in there, you definitely can. No classes regularly meet in there though. It is mainly just used for presentation. Sometimes athletes do use it for study hours as well. The proctoring room is right next to the Cecil Clodfelter room. If you are ever needing to make up a test, say that you missed a class that day and they had a test, you can make it up with your professor and you can go in there and completely do your test. Just make sure you talk to your professor first, or else you'll never be able to get in there. And then behind me are our journals and government documents. Like I said earlier, kind of the same thing with general collections. We have a lot of them, so please talk to a reference librarian. But if you want to brave it yourself, go right ahead. Just make sure that you'll like Marco Polo something, so that way you don't squish somebody on the other side, and you'll be good. You're braver than me. We have more bathrooms over here, but down where those glass doors are, is our special collections. We have 3 different areas in there. We have New Mexico history, the Jack Williamson science fiction collection, which is the 3rd largest in the nation, might I add. And then we also have the Eastern New Mexico archives in there. And a lot of the books in there can also be checked out. Some of them do have to stay though because they're really rare and special, so you can't check those out, but they'll tell you which ones can and can't. And then the study rooms that I mentioned downstairs are right over here. The study rooms are one of my favorite areas, and each room has a seating arrangement in it, whether it's like a conference table, couches. They have a TV and a whiteboard in there, so you can be in there as long as you want, and they are first come, first serve. So if nobody's sitting in there, you can definitely just go in there and sit in there as long as you want. And since they are smart TVs, they have Netflix, Hulu, YouTube, Spotify, anything that you would need is going to be up there in the TVs, and you just get the remotes downstairs. We have maps, lots of maps, very many maps. And then upstairs as well, we have computers for students to use, and the printer is just in front of special collections. And we have these right here, a few more on the other side that I'll show you in a second, and many, many more on the other side of the building as well. The lockers I mentioned are called the grad carrels, and those are right over there next to these little desks. The name's really misleading. It's not just for grad students. Anybody can use them. I believe that they were originally intended just for grad students, but I think they saw that not many grad students were using it. But like I said, downstairs in media services, you can check out the locker key for up to a semester. You can keep anything you want in there as long as it's not perishable, because that's obviously gross. So blankets, pillows, textbooks, you name it, all can be kept in there. And we have more seating areas up here as well for students to use, and some of these portable TVs. Again, just check out the remotes or HDMI cords downstairs, and you are able to use them. And since you're with me, I'll show you some of the cooler stuff. We got some new things up here that students can use. They're literally like 2 to 3 weeks old. One of them are these 2 ellipticals, one on each side, and they also have desks on them, so you can watch lectures, you can read your textbooks, all while working out and making sure you get movement. The main reason we have them is not just to like make students sweat in the building. We know that sitting for 5 hours is not good for students, so we have these for people to like get some movement in their body and get their brain working a little bit differently. But I mean, if you want to sit here and work out, you definitely can. I won't judge you. We have these whiteboards for you to block yourself off too, so other people won't judge you. And then we got bean bags as well. These are also relatively new. They're literally like 2 weeks old. We took the plastic off of them at the beginning of June, I think. So they're very, very comfortable, which brings me to my next point. Since they are so comfortable and movable, it goes with all the other furniture in the building. Anything that you see is movable. As long as you move it back to where it was before you got here, you are perfectly fine. So if you want to move the beanbag over here where your friends are sitting, that's perfectly okay. Just make sure that you're not like taking them downstairs, because they're kind of hard to do and kind of awkward to hold. But like I said, we have more computers over here, and then we have these cool things right here too called Brodies. Each Brody has a seat in there for students to sit in, obviously. They also have a desk, a lamp, and 2 plugins for students to plug in their computer or their phone. So you can sit in there, but the main thing that I see people using them for is naps, which is perfectly fine too. You won't see me taking a nap in them, but if you want to, you definitely can. I won't judge you. And then coming back over here, behind these little dividers is our K through 12 curriculum and juvenile and young adult collections. For education students, we know that writing lesson plans is very, very important. So we have all of these different books for students to use to write those lesson plans, make assignments, make fake assignments for their classes, anything of the sort like that. But then, like I mentioned, we also have our juvenile collection and young adult collection. So if you're just wanting to come up here and read for fun, we definitely are getting a wider young adult collection for students to use. And we also are open to the community, so teachers and little kids alike can come up here and read the books too. And then behind me is one of my favorite parts of the building. It is original to the facility. Whenever we did our renovation, they covered it with plastic, but it is our mural. and it represents everything that I mentioned before in special collections. So over on my right, we have New Mexico history. Behind me, we have Jack Williamson in the science fiction collection. Then over at the very end, we have Eastern New Mexico archives. And all of this also represents the past, present, and future of Eastern too. But you could stare at this thing for longer than I ever have and find things that I've never seen before. And I've done quite a few tours of this building, so I've seen quite a few things. So if you find anything new, please tell me, because I want to point it out on my tours. But with that being said, that was the last thing to show you today. If you have any questions, feel free to call us, let us know. And if you see me, also let me know and I'll help you out.